Another day, another walk.
By August, I said to myself, okay, it is do or die. You have to walk 10K at least every single day. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. I feel I have found the right exercise for me. I've found something that is doable. I never wake up and feel, oh, I have to walk. What's up, my lovelies? Welcome back again to the Style of Success. It has been a little while. I have been so overwhelmed with work and all the things I had to do, and I haven't had the time to shoot videos. But I am back and I am going to be as consistent as I possibly can be. Back in July, I challenged myself that I was going to do my best to walk 10K on average every week. I've been trying to adopt a healthy lifestyle because I realized that I had gained so much weight and I didn't realize how bad it was until I weighed myself a few months ago, and I did a video on it because it just took me by surprise. You see the link for the video somewhere on the screen. But I thought that it'd be wise for me to document my journey, the different channels that I watch on YouTube that are more of nutrition and health. They said so many benefits about walking compared to jogging or running, because I used to run at a period of time in my life because I felt that that was the way that I could keep fit. But I haven't really been a runner for a long while, and I used to struggle to run, and some days would be good and some days would be so difficult. But I thought maybe walking might be the trick. I have some of my stats that I've written down: my waistline, my hips, and all that detail, and I'll give that to you at the end of this video. So at first, when I decided that I was going to walk 10K on average, I wasn't too concerned about hitting 10K every single day. My goal was, if on average I make 10K, that is good enough. So some days might be less, maybe 7K or 5K, and then other days it might be 12K or 15K. But by the way, let me caveat this by saying, when I decided to do my walking, I also started a low-carb lifestyle. I was cutting out sugar from my diet because I think this plays a huge part. I've heard people say it's 80% what you eat and 20% exercise. And I was trying to supplement it with intermittent fasting. So some days I was eating in a 6-hour window and fasting for 18 hours, which includes sleep. And then other times I would do maybe 8 hours eating and then 16 hours not eating. And I kept alternating it. Some odd days I was able to do 24. So that's almost like one meal a day. And yes, I actually felt great. I didn't feel like I was starving myself. I just wasn't hungry at that time. Let's focus on the walking. So I'm in the fitness app. And so let's go back to July when I decided that I was going to start walking. You could see that some days I was walking 4.37 kilometers. Then I went to 7K. It went dipped down to 5K. I went up to 9K. I did 8K. I did 5K. And you can see that it kept fluctuating. Wow, on the 31st of July, I actually walked 10.72 kilometers. But let me go on to the health app because that gives me a better overview. So in July when I started, you could actually see that I was doing quite well. The first day I didn't quite do 10K. So there were some days I was doing 12Ks, other days I was doing 13K steps. But then on the week, I noticed it wasn't getting up to 10K. And the second week, the same thing happened. I averaged 9.7K steps. The third week, the same thing happened. I was not doing well, and on that week I averaged 9,887 steps, right? Then on this week, I was actually determined to do things right. But I fell off the wagon on the Sunday. It rained in the morning and I told myself I'll walk in the evening, but I got so tired, fell asleep and never walked. So I said, you know what, something has to change. This isn't working. There's no point me trying to postpone my walks for the evenings. Some days I'll get it right, other days it was just a nightmare. So I said, you know what? Let's go back to just making sure I'm walking every day in the morning. So let me show you how that went. I started, so from the 26th of July, I began to make sure that I was going to walk 10K. On Friday, I missed it. I walked 9.482 steps, but on average that week, I walked 12.8k steps. You can see that Saturday, 16k steps, Sunday, 18k steps. I was so happy with myself. I was like, okay, things are beginning to look up. And on average, I was, getting better and better and better. But I tried not to stress myself. And so by August, I said to myself, okay, it is do or die. You have to walk 10k at least every single day. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. So July was almost like a trial and error period for myself. I was trying to see what would work and what wouldn't work. I would wear my AirPods, put music on. Sometimes I listen to a podcast or some inspirational message, and I'd be out the door most times by 5:30 in the morning. I get up quite early to do this because anytime I wait till evening, something's going to happen. It's either I'm going to be cooking for my kids or doing something that takes my time, and then I miss out on the walk. But let me show you what happened in August. So what you see is the first week I averaged 12.745 steps. So the Sunday I had 18k steps. On Friday I had 15k steps. And I was like, okay, you are on a roll. But to be honest, I had to use a lot of willpower to get it right this time. The next week after that, I averaged 14k steps. So I had exceeded my 10k every single day. On the Wednesday, I had 19.5k steps. Wow, that was amazing. I think that I broke the record for myself at that time. But on the Saturday, I had 23.9k steps. I was over the moon. What actually happened was that I planned to go somewhere. I got the address wrong. So I was in the middle of the city center. By the time I figured it out and turned back home, I had walked for over 2 hours. That was honestly a long day. But you know what was so funny about it? Even though I was kind of like tired, I realized that I could still keep going. And then I went to a friend's house for a barbecue and I was dancing to Nigerian music, so that added to my steps. So 23.9 has been the highest I've ever done. We'll see how it goes after this, but I think this is my highest. And then the week after, I kept going. On average, you can see it was 10k every single day and above. My highest that week was 14k steps, and I just kept going. Closer to the last week in August, I went on holiday, and you see some of the pictures. I went to Middlesbrough and I also went to Glasgow. So I got 3 of my friends and I said, you are going to walk. Every morning would wear our kits and we're out the door, but it was so much fun because you're with friends, you're with family. Some of them were reluctant, but in the end they actually did enjoy it. That particular week I decided that, I'm on holiday, I'm going to let things slide. But I ate whatever I wanted to eat. I still avoided sugar. So that week was still good. I averaged 13k steps that week. Wednesday was my longest. That was 17.5k steps. Now the last week and leading into September, I averaged 12.483k steps. What I realized was on the Wednesday, the 1st of September, almost like my body knew that I had exceeded the 30 days, I did 9.7k steps. But other than that, the week was quite a good week, and I just realized how amazing it is to just keep moving. I noticed a huge change in my appearance. My waist looked a lot slimmer, my hips were trimmer. I was feeling so good. I loved the way I looked, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stop. I'm going to keep going. And I've been doing that every single day. I've missed a few days in September, but I've been trying to make sure that every week I'm averaging 10k. So the few days that I didn't average 10k, it was either that it rained that day or the rain. I remember on this particular day, I went out. I didn't realize it was going to rain. The rain caught me. I was soaking wet when I got home, so I had to turn back. But still, it wasn't a bad week because on average, I still had 12.3k steps. And going on, it's the same thing. I've been doing really well. Some days 14k. I've just been going and going. Wow, I thought, 17k steps. Okay. So I still haven't passed my peak of 23.9k steps. But every day, as you can see, I've been trying to average 10K. Some days I miss the mark, but I have kept going because I want this to be my lifestyle. And so I'm going to share with you my stats. I'm not going to mention my weight. Towards the end, I realized I had lost weight on my waist, on my hips, and on my thighs. I noticed I had lost at least 2 inches from those parts of my body, including my bust. I never ever thought that I would enjoy walking as much as I do. Any day that I don't go for a walk, I feel like I missed something out. I feel so alive. I appreciate everything around me. I needed to walk on average about 7.5 or 7.7 kilometers to make 10K steps in a day. And that meant just about an hour or an hour 10 minutes walk. Sometimes I'll be just under 10K, but by the time I walk around every day and do all the stuff I have to do, I would exceed my 10K. What I always say to people is build it up. So as I said earlier on in the video, I started with 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I didn't start an hour, 20 minutes, 2 hours, just in one day. I started to build it slowly, and then every day I would push myself. I haven't been as strict on my diet as I was when I started, but I noticed that with walking, I haven't gained more weight, which accounts for something. So even though your diet is really important, at least having that 20% of exercise tends to go a bit further. What I also realized is trying to walk indoors, maybe on a treadmill, will bore you. I mean, unless you're watching something on the TV or listening to something, I find that walking outside every day is such a beautiful thing to do. For myself, around my area, I've got to meet so many people who walk early in the morning. There's an old couple, and every time in the morning they are jogging with their torchlights and on their head, and they're waving and they're saying hi. And it's such a nice community, even though we don't know each other's names or we don't know anything about ourselves, but we kind of know ourselves like, oh, we're the early morning walkers and runners. But it's such a beautiful feeling, and it's something that I think that people need to add to their everyday regimen. If you're someone that walks every day, or you jog or you run, let me know your experience down in the comments below. I feel I have found the right exercise for me. I found something that is doable, that isn't stressful to my body, that doesn't make me feel tired. I never wake up and feel, oh, I have to walk. It's almost like I look forward to it. Even on Saturdays and Sundays, the whole weekend, I get my walk in and I love it. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.